how was the movie? How was the relationship with Tom Ribbon? How was the movie? It was great. Yeah, how was the movie?
Hey guys, it's sashpol, and I'm here today in my bedroom because I'm not actually doing a Vogue interview and I'm not actually famous. Even though maybe you thought I was for a second because of the amazing acting.
Hashtag so believable.
Oh god, tough life. Hello beautiful people of the planet, how's it going? It has come to my attention that I'm not the only one who wants to be famous. It seems like the idyllic, ostentatious life of fame has not only reached us actors and singers, but has spread itself to the rest of the world. And you can see this by people posting TikToks saying, I want to be famous, even though they're literally on the path to become a biochemist. Or people branching out into the influencer field where you get a little bit of that taste of fame, but it's not complete fame, so you can kind of regulate it. But what I want to discuss in today's video is whether fame is all it's thought out to be. On one hand, you have to be living under a rock or living in complete denial to just instantly dismiss all of the amazing benefits that come off of being famous. You become incredibly wealthy, you have loads of opportunities, and if you're an actor or a singer, you get to do what you love most for a living, getting paid for it. I mean, that's just the dream. Not to mention societal status, not to mention that you're already in the history books, like you have a big legacy and famous sort of like a way to say, left myself a title in the history books. And I mean, you also get a load of people telling you how amazing you are on a day-to-day basis, and you could leverage a fan base to basically do whatever you want with your artwork or with your projects and flesh out your ideas and do crazy sets and like crazy ideas and make them real. But hey, stop dribbling on my carpet, okay? Because as with something so amazing, there are obviously going to be quite the drawbacks. Like a lot of hate, being signed to money-hungry institutions,
agencies, managers, record labels who don't actually let
you express yourself as much as you want, paparazzi following you everywhere, you have no free life, you have no individual life, you'll constantly have to be surrounded by people, and the only place that you can really be private is in your house on the middle of a cliff that is like technically your 30th house, because every other house that you have for yourself is being like tormented by fans and like people coming up and like knowing where you live.
It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of stress, especially right now. It's very easy to go like woo in like a matter of seconds due to cancel culture.
Yeah, that really evens out the playing field, doesn't it? But we all know this. I'm not telling you anything new. And yet, why do people want to be famous? What is the like deep-rooted issue or desire that is lingering over here? Let's discuss. I feel like I should put on my sunglasses because I feel cool that way. Then again,
that is just propagated by the fact that celebrities, which we see as cool, wear sunglasses, therefore sunglasses equals cool. Because if like construction workers wore sunglasses, we wouldn't be here wearing them thinking we're cool. Anyway.
So, I believe there are two reasons for why people seek fame. It's freedom and it's attention. We're going to talk about freedom first. We live in a capitalistic society. Do we agree on that? Oh, I'm sorry to people watching from other countries, but the UK, America, we live in a capitalistic society. I'm doing this. And in the capitalist society, some people rise up really quickly, you know, they're into business, they're into entrepreneurship, they rocket up high, get all that money, live their wealthy lives, e-commerce businesses, business. However, if you're a scientist or if you're an artist, you are not really of the business type and you're not going to be earning that much money. I literally watched an interview today. Lin-Manuel Miranda was like, If you want to do anything else other than the arts, do that, because there's no money in this business. And that's true. Most people do earn minimum wage that do artistry. But then you have the sort of like huge money making opportunity up there. And a lot of people feel very confined, understandably, for the fact that they can't just go about and make however much money they want. They can't control their time. You are constantly under the regulations of, oh, you can't really earn much more as, I don't know, a research scientist, because there's no money in that sphere, even though it's like a really important sphere, and I don't understand why. Like, that's so dumb. You are under the regulations of the system, and what fame lets you do is escape those regulations, because you suddenly have financial freedom, you suddenly have opportunities, you have people who will be interested in whatever it is you produce, and you get to produce what you want for a living. But my problem with this is, right, if you are seeking fame for money, for opportunities, for freedom, that is, if I'm being brutally honest, that is just lazy.
Hey guys, it's your girl here. I wanted to say that the word laziness was not the right choice of wording for this type of context. What I meant to say is that the use of fame to become financially free is quite redundant. So there, especially right now, with the use of e-commerce and, you know, just a stable Wi-Fi connection and a desktop and a laptop, you can go so much farther and you can get those same opportunities of financial freedom without having to become famous. Secondly, when it comes to unlocking the treasure trove of opportunities, you can still get a lot of opportunities once again with the advancement of technology, especially nowadays. It's easier than ever to get opportunities, TikTok, etc. But they would just be on potentially a smaller scale and you might reach less people.
It's also like you see celebrities and they're doing all of these cool things and you think, oh my god, like they have so much freedom and opportunities to do all of these things. Guys, let's please remember that they are under agents and managers and record labels that sometimes produce the music for them, sometimes doesn't let them do the ideas they want. There's so much monitoring goes on, there's so much like, oh, is this gonna sell, is this gonna go well, like blah 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 blah. So like, it looks a lot more free than it actually is. So now that we've talked about freedom, let's talk about the secondary reason for why some people want to be famous. If you belong to this category, like myself, I have to admit, then I am sincerely apologetic. I sincerely apologize to you because there's obviously a little bit of trauma that happened, you know, went through your body, didn't quite come out, and so you now need a bit of attention. I don't know what it is with actors, singers, even I write, and I still want people to see my work. Like, sure, I'll write just for the fun of it and I'll write for myself, but I want people to see my work, you know? So I don't know what it is, but someone really messed us up in the attention department, because actors, singers, artists, like, we just need a bit of attention, please. I don't believe fame is the way for financial freedom and opportunities to a certain extent, but fame definitely is a way for attention. Like, if you want to get the most attention possible, absolutely go and become famous. Like, that is the thing to do if you need attention and, you know, lacking in that department. But of course, if you require attention, you should not be going and becoming famous for attention. Once again, the glamorization of fame leaves out the part of how lonely fame actually is. So the saying, you feel more lonely in a room full of people than you do by yourself. This is fame times 100, because there's a million people telling you, I love her so much, I want to be her best friend, oh my god, she totally understands me. And you're there like, oh, but they don't actually know who I am, like truly. And these people, like, they only love the image and the picture that I put out onto the internet, and they don't genuinely love me, first of all. Second of all, because there's so many people, you know, coming up to you, loving you so much, there will be a lot of people taking advantage of you. There will be a lot of bad things going on in the neighborhood. You know, they say it's lonely at the top for a reason, because it's very hard to make genuine friendships when you're at such a level where everyone's telling you they love you and taking advantage of you, and you're like, who actually loves me for me? And how does loneliness and genuine friendships tie into attention? I genuinely believe this. I think if you have solid, intimate relationships with people and you have a really good like network of genuine friends, you are way less likely to seek attention because you are just more comfortable in knowing that you have people there. And I think attention, like quietly, is sort of a cry for help. Cry for, I just need someone to look at me, to see through me, to understand me. I think it's interesting because fame is so surrounded in our society, but it's also like no one speaks about it. Like if you say, I want to be famous, that's really weird to say, and I feel like it's almost taboo to say that because instantly people are like, you should not be famous if you're saying you want to be famous, because that's just like a bit self-centered and like self-absorbed. I honestly think if we talked about it more, and like if people were like, oh, I want to be famous, and then people would be like, but why? Maybe people would figure out that fame is not actually what they want. Last thing. If you're going to take anything away from this video, oh my god, listen. Okay, I'm gonna put on my sunglasses so you take me more seriously. So, it kind of comes from the fact that we don't talk about it. Like, this idealistic idea of what fame is can really push someone to be like, oh, I want to be famous. Yeah, I want to be famous, because like, famous, you know, like famous, like such a cool idea. But it's the fact that it's an idea. But the fact that it's an idea means that it can remain idealistic and idyllic and amazing. But if you genuinely make it a reality, and if you genuinely think to yourself, I am going to be famous. Like, I am genuinely going to live the life of a famous person. It has not become so beautiful anymore. Because as with everything that becomes a reality, there are going to be ups and downs. The moment that you tell yourself that you are going to be famous, 100%, right? And it becomes a reality, and it's not an idea anymore, it has to have negative effects. You have to live through the negative things that come with fame, and that's when you can look at it and be like, oh, actually, maybe I don't really want this. Because then it becomes real, and then it comes with all the real disadvantages to fame that you actually have to live through and deal with. So can we just talk about my outfit?